Howdy do, and welcome back to episode 9 of the Make It Rain podcast. It's going to be a little bit of a shorter episode. The rain didn't play as much this week, but we got a lot to cover to you. Here we go! Alongside Anthony Collazo from the Hockey News, I am Joe O'Regan, and the Ontario Reign had 2 games this week.
Joe, everybody watching the pod, the Reign played well this week. Coming into this week, Tucson Road Runners and the San Diego Gulls, you come in, you're like, all right, gotta win 2.
Correction, Henderson Silver Knights and San Diego Gulls.
Henderson, no, Tucson was last week.
Yes,
Henderson
correct. There
and
we
San
go.
Diego,
Yeah.
2 of the worst teams in the Pacific. You gotta win 2. And they did win 2. Took care of business. 1 in Sin City and 1 in
The city no one likes.
Los Angeles, but better.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair. Let's get into LA Kings stuff.
Yo, what's up, guys? It's Anthony. Quick editor's note. This is old news that we're about to talk about right now. Copley and Portillo made the switch again, and Portillo's back up with the Kings. Copley's back down with the Reign. We recorded this episode on Saturday night, and the news happened Sunday morning. We apologize greatly. Enjoy the rest of the pod.
Last week, I brought up how Eric Portillo was kind of a shock to everybody. Some of you guys might have seen the short of it, and I'm like, why? What are we doing? It seems that the world has figured out itself as Phoenix Copley has since been called up and Eric Portillo has been sent down. Eric Portillo started Saturday night against the San Diego Gulls. I mean, outside of that, there has been very little movement from the Los Angeles Kings in terms of the Reign and the Kings. There's been no movement.
Yeah, as far as Portillo and Copley goes, there was no reason ever to bring up Portillo. I think the only reason why you would have is because Copley was playing bad at the time that they called up Portillo. Copley had a couple good games, and then they switch-swapped them. If Portillo was never going to play, then I don't see a point in calling up Portillo. But, the LA Kings run things weird sometimes. And yeah.
I think it's more than sometimes, in my opinion.
A lot of times.
Yeah. They're not a normal hockey club. Let's just say it that way.
Ooh.
And now granted, every NHL team runs a little bit differently.
See, we're saying this as like a Ranger fan and a Ducks fan. So like, I think it's one of those things where like, hey, I can talk to my brother that way, but you can't. I think Kings fans would be like, you're a Ducks fan, so you can't even talk. And then my Rangers can't win a Stanley Cup. And we lost to the Kings.
I'm sorry, but who won the first Stanley Cup in Southern California again? Who brought the first Stanley Cup to California?
But I think Kings fans...
it was the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim, of course.
Sure.
That's just how it goes.
Sure.
And they're also the first team to make the Stanley Cup. Doesn't matter, it's an Ontario Reign podcast. You know this as...
This is an Ontario Reign podcast.
You are correct, actually.
Yeah.
Did I say something else? No.
You said not.
Oh, okay. Well, it is. And we're going to check that after. But this episode is brought to you by Gowdy Law. We all know having a game plan is key, but when it comes to your family's future, are you ready? Gowdy Law is here to help, specializing in estate planning. Gowdy Law ensures your loved ones are protected from losing a ton of money and time to probate when you pass away. Just like on the ice, preparation matters. Don't wait till the last minute to make the right play. Visit GowdyLaw.com today. Start planning for the future. You get a free estate planning, you get an estate planning pricing and a free consultation right on their website. It's that simple. The price is on their website. Gowdy Law, making estate planning easy, understandable, and affordable. As always, the link is in the description.
You know what Gowdy Law gave me?
What did Gowdy Law give you?
They gave me this Good to Great Jim Collins book.
Nice.
Free advertising for Jim Collins.
Free advertisement.
Good book so far, man. Good book. Jim Collins and the team that put together this book, lots of good stuff in here.
Well done. That fires me up. With that being said, the Reign headed to just south of Sin City in Game 1, and Anthony Collazo was about to cover it on the Reign Rapid Recap.
Yes. The Ontario Reign faced off with the Henderson Silver Knights. Ever heard of them? The 4th time in the last 3 weeks. The first period. Wow, that was a bad sleeping sound. It was a snooze fest. Wake up in the second period. Samuel Fagimo wrist one into Schmidt's chest. that went through his 5-hole and trickled into the back of the net. It is 1-0 Ontario. Mommy, the monster is back under my bed. Caleb Lawrence, the 6'7" monster, finds the loose puck in the crease and nets his second of the year. It is 2-0. He has been sneakily good for the Reign this season. Brandon Brisson would cut the lead to 1, but nobody cares about that because the Charlie horse, Hudon, on the power play one-timer makes it 3-1. Oh my God. He did it again. Empty net goal, 3 points on the night. The Silver Knights would score again, but it would not be enough. 4-2, the final.
Glenn Godden, are you serious right now?
He's been unbelievable.
If the season ended today, he'd probably be the AHL MVP, and I'm not exaggerating that at all.
How many points does he have on the season?
He might have 20 right now.
I know he has
He's got to be close.
I think he's actually at 20 because I think it was 17 the last I checked before this game.
Yeah.
So I think it's 20 now.
Get out the way, ads. I'm trying to watch
20
this.
points, 7 goals, 13
7
assists.
13.
He has 12 dating back to the Tucson game last week on Wednesday.
That was, 8 points in 3 games. Do the math. 2 point and a load of 6s on average.
Yeah.
Glenn Godden looking unreal. And as we said, as advertised with the Ontario Reign, kind of a slow start for him. He's picked it up. I mean, just a little bit of team bonding and a little bit of relationship building, and now he's off and running. He's playing with his pants on fire at this point.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about Godden too much because I have a feeling that we're going to be talking about him in the Rain Rapid recap or the Rain Weather Report.
There we go.
Yeah, man, that first period from this game, really nothing happened. Like, there was no pacing in the game. A lot of icings, a lot of dump and chase. And then the second period, I mean, Fagemo got started just right past Schmid, like into his breadbasket. And the next thing you know, you see the puck just rolling into the net. That was a weird one. And then Caleb Lawrence, which I tweeted out in that game, I think in the first period, like, he has been sneakily good. And he's been playing good with his skill. He's 6'7", 230. Mm-hmm. He's a big guy who played with some skill, gets a goal, gets rewarded for it.
An opposing stature that can skate like that is always going to be a help, especially with the Ontario Reign. And he looks so good right now. I mean, love the guy, but dude, Jacob Doty's going to run himself out of a spot. I mean, unless Andre Lee gets called back up, then Doty's going to slide back in. You already expect that.
Well, here's the caveat. Lawrence and Yamson are both centers.
Yeah.
And so if Sturm decides to maybe slot Yamson into a wing, which he did not do in this game, he played on that fourth line. It was Element, Lawrence, Ward. Yeah, Doty might be the odd man out here, which might be the reason why he was not named captain when we all thought that he probably had a chance to.
Yeah.
What was it in game 2? Element, Yamson, Ward. See, so Doty didn't play this week.
Going back and forth on a couple of guys.
Yeah.
So
yeah, good.
With the Ontario Reign, by the way, Hudon's gonna score again. He has another goal, as of course is tradition. So Charles Hudon picks himself up a goal. Glenn Godden scores. Blah. Samuel Fagemo hopping back onto the goal train, kind of laid off of it a little bit Saturday against Colorado, and got himself back into the scorecard on Wednesday night.
Yeah, Hudon hasn't been too bad. I mean, number 54 had 54 points with the Eagles in 22-23, had 54 points with the Reign last season, 11 so far this season. So a consistent player based off his jersey number. See if he can put up at least 54 again. But he's been good. I think he's been a little quieter as far as, like, you know, Godden. I like the way Stunica has been playing as of late. And Stunica has gone quiet as well, which, you know,
kind of unexpected, if you want to say.
Unexpected for the way he has been skating, I would say.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man, Copley, another good game from him, and this game led him to him being called up.
Hey, Phoenix Copley is back with the LA Kings. Not anything to be complaining or anything to be worried about. So it works. It works. The world has set itself in the right place. We all thought Portillo being called up was kind of a shock. It's not shocking, at least in our eyes, because we thought Portillo at least had one more year in the American Hockey League before he was going to become at least a part-time NHL goaltender.
Yeah. No, yeah, for sure. I think once Riddick's deal is up, I think Portillo is going to get the call up.
Yeah.
He's got to work on that rebounding, though, man. I mean, his rebounding is still big rebounds.
Trampoline
They're working on
pads.
it. They're working on it. They know the issue. Sean Element, first assist of the year.
There you go.
Good for him. Let's go down the line here. Francesco Pinelli got into a fight.
That
was
is
crazy.
insanity. Fill out the bingo card, because if you had Francesco Pinelli getting into a fight this year, if you told me that on October 10th, I would have probably laughed at you. Not joking. How in, as QJB would say, what in the blue moon?
What in the blue moon?
Like, what?
The Canadian center has gone up to another slow start this year, 6 points in 15 games, similar to last year. -3 plus minus, which is kind of like how he started last year. So, but I can tell the way he walks around underneath in the tunnel and the way he skates on the ice, he has a newfound confidence.
Yes.
He doesn't look scared anymore, which last year he was a little like, his eyes were bigger.
Timid.
Yeah, timid, I would say. He's got confidence this year. He gets into that fight, jaw dropped to the floor. It was like, it's like Shafran goes, Pinelli is into a fight. And I'm like, oh, Pinelli. Oh, Pinelli. I was like, what in the world?
Wow.
That was pretty crazy.
It's like the Brian Griffin episode, just a jaw going, done. Right onto the table. In the past 2 games, dating back to Wednesday, Luke Rowe and Francesco Pinelli have gotten into fights. Those are 2 guys I'd least expect.
Did Rowe get into a fight?
Yeah, he got into a fight Saturday in Colorado, and it only took it only took 16 seconds for him to get into it too. So,
gotcha.
So the Ontario Reign, it looks like, I don't know what it is, but guys getting more confidence. Guys are willing to stand up for themselves now. So I'm not against that whatsoever. Fighting is the only fighting's encouraged in hockey and nothing else. So, guy fights in hockey, cool. Guy fights in football, what? Guy fights in baseball, what? Guy fights in basketball, suspended?
It's actually funny you say that because a little off topic here. Yesterday morning, I was watching the Netflix documentary Malice in the Palace.
Oh boy!
And I was watching it, and there was like a little segment where they're talking about how basketball players, like the media was treating them like, they're calling them thugs, right?
Fair.
They're like, oh, like this thug mentality. And then I think Jermaine O'Neal, who was the center in that brawl for the Pacers, he was obviously getting interviewed for the documentary. And he was like, they're calling us thugs, but hockey players be beating the crap out of each other. And they've been doing that for decades. But they're not thugs, but we are. And we fight one time, which I think is a little different. You can't, no matter what happened, you can't go into the stands, but
oh God, like in hockey, I'm now going to circle back to a couple of years ago. I want to say this was the World Juniors, or it was like the preseason, or it was when Brant Clark was still with the Barrie Colts, I believe was the team he was on. He ended up almost going over the boards because a fan was chirping at him.
Did he really?
Yes.
I don't know about
You
this.
can look the video up for themselves. It's definitely out there, but dude, chill out. He's since been way better than that. That was also in late 2020. Now it's 2024, almost 2025.
I think we've gotten some good clips so far, 16 minutes in. Anyway.
Yeah, we might have a lot of good clips. Crayon eaters, let's go. With that being said, are we ready to head into game 2?
Yeah.
Actually, wait, one more thing. Thank God Riley Walsh is okay.
Yeah, that was scary when he went down.
Yes.
Yeah.
He was back on the ice 5 minutes later. Anyways, the Reign heads south to take on the San Diego
Goals suck.
In a Saturday night matchup, not very much went down until Jack Studnicka put a puck in front of the net for Fee-Fi Fagimo. He scores his 7th goal on the year, and 4 minutes later, you can't spell Studnicka without stud in it, and he scores. Nice voice crack. It's 2-0 Reign. Nothing can ever be easy. Roman Canal, after the end of a power play for the Reign, goes goes far side on a sharp angle against Eric Portillo to make it 2-1. But Jeff scores a lot of goals. He has a lot of points. He doesn't have a lot of goals. That was his second of the year. It's 3-1. And the icing on the cake, Charles Houdon clicks his right stick in like it's chill, whacks a puck into an empty net with 2:34 left. That's all she wrote. The Reign sweep the week and take this one by the final of 4-1. Real quick, hold on. I gotta pull this one up. Get the brooms out!
It messed up.
No! Yeah! Get the brooms out! Whoa! Get the brooms out! The Ontario Reign sweep the week.
Yeah.
My face is red now for sure.
Last episode, I was talking about how it was too early in the morning. I think night episodes are better.
Yes.
'Cause I think we're just more delirious.
Yeah. We get to have a little bit of fun here. So the Ontario Reign, as we stated earlier, changed the lines up again, specifically in the fourth line, letting Atu Yamson take the draws in the fourth line. No Caleb Lawrence in the lineup.
No Lawrence, and then they also switched Andre Lee from the third line to the second line and put Chromiak down, which I actually don't mind because I like Pinelli playing with more skill guys.
Yes.
So that he can get more assists, and I think Pinelli's game matches up more with Chromiak and Madden rather than Lee.
Yes.
And Madden, I think Lee brings some grit with a fast Dunica and a deadly shot with Fagimo.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually do like that switch a lot from Sturm. I think that's a good move.
Yeah. If you were going to roll into the playoffs, say if the playoffs started tomorrow and the Reign made it, this would be a top 12 group you'd go with. Houdon got him a lot. Was Houdon at left wing tonight?
He was.
Okay. I guess he was. Andre Lee, Jackson Nika, and Fagimo, Chromiak, Pinelli, Madden, and then Element, Yamson, and Ward. If we had those 12 forwards, I'd be very happy with whoever we're playing against.
Yeah.
Including Coachella Valley.
I think I would like Lawrence in over Yamson, but you can't go wrong with Yamson. He's been playing all right.
Yeah.
Eric Portillo played well this game. I don't know how many shots he faced. I'm going to get it right now. Faced 34 shots, saved 33 of them.
33 for 34. Heck of a performance out of Ports. Looked very good. It seems like the Ontario Reign are beginning to become the wagon we thought they were going to be at the start of this season.
Yeah.
Like, the first 5 games, like, we were saying no need to freak out. There were still 67 games left. We were low-key kind of freaking out because it's like, dude, this is not what we were expecting out of this team. But now we're not taking into account new captain, new skill players, new defensive core. Phoenix Copley's on the freaking team, for goodness sake.
Yeah.
Like, none of that was being taken into account for. So,
Yep.
the Ontario Reign are beginning to mesh. The stars are starting to align. Things are starting to come together. Jeff Malott and Glenn Godden both have 13 assists this year. Oh, by the way, Glenn Godden, 3 points again Saturday night against his old team, might I add.
It was a really good week and a really good road trip. They have won 4 out of the last 5, dating back to the Tucson Roadrunners at home on Wednesday. Then they hit the road for 2 against Colorado, 1 in Henderson, 1 in San Diego, and they win 3 out of the 4. Really good road trip to come back home and face a good Dallas Stars team. Texas Stars team.
Yes, correct. First time the Ontario Reign are playing them since COVID, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Before COVID. Yeah.
And one of the things that is happening here is that their best players are playing like their best players. With some young guys, like last game, Caleb Lawrence
Getting into the mix.
And you need that with a good team. This game, their best players played like their best players. You got Samuel Fagimo scoring a goal. You got Stunica assist, Hickett's assist. Then you got Stunica goal, Andre Lee assist, Glenn Godden assist. Get used to hearing that.
Yep.
Then you got Jeff Malott goal, Riley Walsh assist, Glenn Godden assist. Then you got Udon goal, Godden assist, Malott assist. So you have these guys who came into the Reign and we thought, all right, these are going to be the guys this year. We knew they were going to be the guys. And the first few games, they weren't the guys. And you're like, is this going to work?
Yeah.
And I think this is a testimony to Marco Sturm's coaching as well.
Yes,
absolutely. I think Sturm, after the slow start, getting them settled into the chemistry and how they play the game. And they're playing really good right now, man. It's nice to see.
Absolutely. So going down that first line, I'm going to quickly get the bad out of this way. The Ontario Reign This specifically applies to the penalty kill or when it's 4-on-4. So the goals went in almost flying V without the back point of the V. So more 2 wide and 2 middle, like 2 defensemen middle and 2 wide forwards in their breakout. The Ontario Reign let them have the middle. Once you face good teams, because we're going to see the Calgary Wranglers sooner than later, and we're going to see Coachella Valley again, and we're going to see San Jose again, you can't do that. You just can't do that. You can get away with that with the goals because the goals are now 4-11. 4-11, 1-1. So 4-11 2 if you want to use the NHL record rules. You can't really do that to the teams that are 13-5 like Calgary. So the Ontario Reign need to tighten up the inside, push everything to the outside, shut down the slot. That's about the only bad thing I could say out of this game. Goodness. Defensively, the first period was
Yeah.
like I don't even know how they got out of that period up 2-0, truthfully. There are a lot of pucks that were in the crease, in the slot, and then the Reign were collapsing on top, leaving guys wide open at the point. Like, dude, you had us worried. Thank goodness Eric Portillo was a brick wall tonight.
Yeah, they were lucky to be up, 2-0, 2-1 after 1 and 2. Because they didn't play great in the second game. Good enough for the goals.
Well, of course.
Because you got to win games, and if you win, you can say what you want about it being like a sloppy game. You won the game, right? Wins aren't easy to come by. It's professional hockey.
I'd rather win ugly than lose pretty. That's for certain.
Oh, yeah, 100%. And I think in the last half of the game, I think Ontario did play good.
Mm-hmm.
A little more even. They weren't getting outplayed.
Yep.
They played a little more even. And yeah, man, they come out with the win. I was joking about this on Twitter. Like, these last 2 games have not had substance for us to talk about. And especially in this game where the goals in this game weren't exactly like the prettiest goals. They were, like, for example, Jeff Malott, he scores a goal late in this game. And it was a rebound out in front that, Dansk should have probably covered up.
Yeah.
So, like, this game was your typical, like, they won, but, like, I don't know.
Like you won, but there was nothing to be like, oh, wow about in this game. Like, okay, yeah, we took care of business. We won against the bottom feeding team in the Pacific. Like
2 of them.
Okay.
This week.
Yeah. That is true.
Took care of business, though.
Yeah.
Took care of business.
Take care of business, play your 60 minutes, get it done, don't mess around. They did just that, and they walked out with 2 wins this week. Need I say more about this one?
No, I don't think so. Not much to talk about with this game.
Like, we weren't kidding when we said that there's little substance to either of these games.
Yeah.
With that being said, let's get into the
rain weather report.
Oh, yeah. I have the 100% this week, and for the first time this year, we will be nominating the same person for 100%. It is Glenn Gaudin. Nothing is changing. Congrats.
First back-to-back winner.
I don't know if we should just call you the principal honor roll student or give you a gold star in this case, but anytime you're putting up 6 points in 2 games, you're definitely the first star of the week. No doubt.
Yeah, 100% chance of rain. If you are the Texas Stars, you don't want to see Gaudin out on the ice. Really good 2 weeks.
Very
for
good.
the kid. I think that's now 12 points in the last 4 games.
5 games.
5 games. Yeah, man. I mean, it's a shame to a degree that he's 27. Because if he was like younger, then I think it would make for a good article for my sake. And
yeah,
Kings fans can look forward to this guy, but a little bit older, journeyman AHLer.
Yeah.
He
played for the Stockton Heat too. Wow.
Yeah.
No one likes the Stockton Heat.
Who was the Stockton Heat? Who did they?
Flames. It was the Flames
And
before they became the Wranglers. Yeah. They were the Stockton Heat for a while.
See.
And then he got picked up by the Anaheim Ducks a couple years ago and played the goals for a couple years. Glenn Gaudin, journeyman AHLers, we like to compare him to Jack Studnicka probably because Studnicka's been around the Pacific Division for a minute. So Glenn Gaudin had himself a heck of a week, 12 points in 5 games, pointing out this week. 6 points in 2 games, 1 goal and 5 assists compared to last year where I think it was 2 and 4 or 4 and 2. I believe it was 2 and 4.
Yeah.
Glenn Godden, first star. We've talked about him enough. I've probably said his name 25 times now, this pod alone. So let's move to 50%. Who do you have?
50% is my guy, Caleb Lawrence. Coming into the season, was not too excited for him, simply because of the fact that I wasn't a big fan of Hayden Hodgson. I thought he played dumb hockey. He was like a Matt Rempe in the AHL. Just he skated around going for hits, big hits,
Yep.
and would find himself in the penalty box a lot.
Certainly.
And so Caleb Lawrence comes in, and I hear that he's kind of like a Hayden Hodgson type of player. I think he's a lot better than Hayden Hodgson. 6'7", 230, presence on the ice, big hits, smart with the hits,
Yes.
and he has some skill.
Yeah.
And he skates well.
Very much. And he's basically, in my opinion, he's a smarter Hayden Hodgson with a little bit of offensive presence.
Yeah, and like he's still slow. Like, I'm not saying he's fast,
Like
but
if you were to give this man a zone ability on NHL, it would definitely be crease crasher. He has 2 goals this year, and they're both in front of the net.
yeah, one deflection or tip in, and then one just right in front of the
Greaser.
crease. Yeah,
Greasy. It works. Greasier than a pan of bacon.
I like him. I think he is a perfect fourth line center for this team, and that's nothing against Yamson. Like Yamson has been fine too, but Lawrence, in my opinion, I think he is like a Hellenius type of player that he can be in a couple years.
Yes.
That's just what I see.
I could see the same thing with you. 0%.
Brad Schuler, Jared Shaffrin for the 0%.
Jared Shafford, Paige Caps. No, I'm just kidding, guys. Nobody's getting 0% this week. Everyone did really good. I can't point it out.
Yeah,
I can't point anyone out. Like, there's no real, really, really bad things that stand out. And if any of the Rain people are watching and you really notice something, I'm not saying Jacob Dvorak either.
comment below.
So Kyle, don't. So with that being said, I don't have anyone for 0%. Unless there's like a specific play that stood out to you. There was nothing that stood out for me. At
No,
least.
there was nothing that stood out where I was like, you can't do that. You know, they played pretty decently clean hockey. They were kind of outplayed against San Diego, but it wasn't big mistakes. I thought San Diego played good in the
didn't play that
game
bad.
on Saturday.
Once again, I've said this a lot about the Rain. I'm going to say this about the goals. I'm going to be nice about them one time. 4-1, that game could have been a lot worse for the Ontario Rain.
It could have been 4-1 the other way.
Yeah, it could have been. I no doubt in my mind about that. However, if you're cleaning out the slot and leaving Samuel Fagemo of all people a shot in from close range,
You can't do it.
you can't do that.
You can't do it.
Like as that referee said, you can't do that. You can't do that. You just cannot do that.
Oh
Should I
my-
say that one more time?
Is there only one game next week?
Nope, there are 2 games next week. You're on the home schedule. Next week, the Ontario Reign have Salute to Service night. By the way, Salute to Service. It's only fitting, by the way, Luke Rowe has to be in the photo shoot for it. Big
Air Force guy.
Big Air Force guy. Yep. No,
Love it.
those jerseys are absolute beauts, as I said
them.
on our Instagram story.
I like him.
They look very good. And then Saturday, they head up 2.5 hours to Bakersfield, to Mechanics Bank Arena to take on the Bakersfield Condors in their second matchup of the year. The Ontario Reign have another 2-game week. They have a little bit of a tougher schedule coming up. And then December rolls in. We're a month and a half into this season already. Like, this is unbelievable. Time's flying. We're 9 episodes into this podcast.
9 weeks in. The Reign have 16 points right now. They're 8-7-0.
Mm-hmm.
The Stars are 9-6, 9-6-0, and have 18 points.
Yep.
In 15 games. So it's just pretty much a win and a loss. So
Yeah.
the Stars and the Reign are pretty evenly matched teams. The Condors too, 7-5-2. So they're playing 2 teams who have kind of had similar seasons as the Reign, and I'm excited for that.
Yes. I want to go into the Reign stats, if you can potentially get those up there, because I kind of forgot.
For what? Like who?
Season stats so far, because we're only covering 2 games. This podcast is going to be a little bit shorter. I want to quickly get into that so you guys can potentially keep up with this. So assist-wise, we've already said this a couple of times. Jeff Malott and Glenn Godden, couldn't think of the name for a second. They both have 13 assists. They both lead the Ontario Reign in that department. Goals-wise, I believe Samuel Fagemo and Glenn Godden are tied for the team lead with 7. Or just Godin have six?
Fagemo 7, Godin 7.
Yep.
Yeah.
So they're both tied there. Goaltending wise, let's check out the goaltending. What do we have here? Eric Portillo, 906 save percentage and a 268 goals against. He had a really bad start against San Jose to open the year. Since then, Ports has bounced back, looking like the goaltender he was last year.
I wonder what his stats would be if we took that game out. Yeah.
His goals against would probably be into the 2.3 range, in my opinion, because 5 goals will inflate your stats like that.
Yeah. No, for sure.
Phoenix Copley in 7 games with a 3.34 and an 8.79 save percentage. But then you've got to take into account that the start of his year was really, really shaky.
Really poor. I mean, his entire year has been bad except for the last 2 games.
Yeah.
So yeah.
He's starting to pick the pace up. So that's something that we would like to keep doing on these 2-game weeks, because the Ontario Reign play 2 games again next week. We'll probably get you another update on stats when we can. With that being said, that wraps up episode 9 of the Make It Rain podcast. Thank you guys for watching alongside Anthony Collazo from the Hockey News. I'm Joe O'Regan. Like, subscribe. You know the drill. We will see you next Monday. Thank you very much. What are you doing?